Welcome back to Factorio playing SpaceX mod on Extreme, as in 25 times, 16 times, and 16 times. Let's unpause and get right back into it. So, we have finished life support systems. What else has been happening? I installed a factory to start building rocket silos because we need to launch in the hopes that some faster speed on our robots might help. So what else do we need to do? We need to build some more components. We currently only have the rocket fuel. We need, what are they called again? We need the low density structure and rocket control units. And for now I'm actually thinking of just putting them in here. And also satellites. I was originally going to just like duplicate this with another set of like 5 here. But I think I probably won't do exactly the same thing. I mean, we can see what's going on here. That kind of shows you it's like a swarm of something. It's hard to tell how much of this action is excessive recharging trying to happen, although there obviously is some up there. It's harder. There is some. Well, I can see there's lots of charging going on. I'm not sure if it's all. It does look like there's a bit of waiting going on here, so there definitely is some. So we've kind of stretched this whole concept to the limits, but we can certainly look to. I mean, we're achieving quite a few of our like objectives. 81,000 plus 65. I mean, that's 147,000 plates plus whatever we're doing here times 5 effectively, and then if we're doing blocks as well, which we are doing some, so you multiply this by about 5, so that's another 13,000. So we're around sort of 150, 160,000 plates constantly. So it's not like this is sort of letting us down. It's just we're obviously using too many bots for our own good. The other place I thought of was sort of over here, but I mean, thinking of the travel time, if we're not going to make tall smelting stacks, we're going to do something else, like potentially deliver plates directly here. We can potentially use the space for something else, and given that our source of plates is here, this is probably the shortest path for the bots. So, having said that, let's run up here. And yes, I know this is still very low, even though we have finished the tech. If we check out quickly, we have enough plates. I think we're very low on ores though. Yeah, we don't have any ore, so in spite of our massive supply there, we're basically completely out of ore. Science packs, we've almost caught up the high tech. The blue and the production are a little ways behind. Which is interesting actually, that high tech caught up so fast. Anyway, we're probably, I know, modules are fine. I thought they were a problem there for a second. But that's what's going on there. So let's have a look along here. If we're going to build something different, we can add in, like obviously there's a fairly high demand through this corridor, so we can add in some extra roboports, maybe an extra stack going up, since there is some recharging. So let's do that to start with. Not that. Well, that one is kind of what I would like to put. Maybe like this. For starters, that's what we used in the green circuit build. There we go, let's do that. Why not? Probably because it's going to hurt our UPS even more. Be a good reason why not, but never mind, let's do it. And we probably need more of a vertical stack as well. One of these things, I think that one, has a vertical stack blueprint, but I might be mistaken. It sort of does, but it wasn't the one I was specifically looking for. Could always just put this one vertically. In fact, that might be the way to go. Slap that in. Oh, there we go. UPS at 18. Back into the 20s. That's fine. So that should certainly help the flow of bots acrossways. Now, how exactly are we going to do this? I previously, that's a copy of how much room it takes to put in place our rocket fuel, 100 rocket fuel, which I guess if I did, I'd have space sort of along here for a train station if I did it like this. But alternatively, I could go out 50 wide, which might be better, so I might see how that looks. What we would need then is a different blueprint altogether. Is that my standard? Oh, I may have been forgetting to account for those. No, those are roboports, that's not what I want. Those are beacons, that's what I want, I think. Slap some of these down. Lengthways. Of course, this is using up a whole lot of resources as well, which is one of the reasons why I let science stop for the moment. Start with that. The basic idea with these things, if we were doing rocket control units, oh that's right, we need to be building speed modules, so it should be a fairly simple construction. We probably want to go something like, if we start there, we're going to want this sort of pattern all the way along, and because we're building the speed modules, we actually need 4 rows, not 4 rows of 25. So that's the sort of thing we're going to be wanting. With this one being, let's make speed module 1s, and this one being, let's make the rocket control units. And you, instead of going into a supply, it's basically going to be 2 requesters, and you go down here, and the rocket control units themselves go into a supply chest. So this sort of thing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep, that's good. 50. Let's at least double that up to give it some sort of chance. And that needs blue circuits in the amount of 100. Let's hope that that is going to be sufficient. We'll probably want some sort of control here to say if our modules are less than 100, so that we don't just make an endless supply of them. And you will be feeding out that way. I actually could change that to a blue. Maybe I need some blues on me. Blue inserters. Could probably change this one to a blue actually as well. Something like that. We're starting to get some UPS back, that's good. Let's just see if I can get that to... No, it doesn't want to connect, does it? Oh, let's run up our little pathway. See if there's anywhere I can make a connection. Oh, there you go. Good as gold. Let's extend this pathway. We're constantly needing to run places, so having some pathways is kind of vital. Alright, let the rest of this carry on at its own pace now. How are we going down here? Do we have any blue inserters yet? Doesn't look like it. Takes a while for the commands to sink in. Sure, it will get there eventually. We're up to 70,000 bots. It still doesn't think there's enough. This is why I want to get on with building these things so that we can launch some rockets, get some space science, and all those good things. There we go. Blue inserters. Right. You can go there, and to be perfectly honest, I think you can go there as well. Now, what I want to do is go B, copy this little bit. Does that copy over the requested chest? No, it doesn't. The ones that were already here, that's fine, that's fine. What about this, this? Issue there, let's fix that one up. Very good. Hang on. There we go, that's better. Right, so we've got 5. Now we just need to copy this and do it 5 times over. Where was the one that I just used? That one maybe. No point having them stack up in our little collection there. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Oh, we could actually go further. Is there any point? 30. Alright, 30 it is. So, in the next row, I could just copy that whole thing. Yep. $30.60. $90. We need our roboports again. Let's not skimp on roboports. Right, we won't need to go quite as far as that. Let's remove those ones. And then I believe we need about 10 more. So, where were we? No. No, I don't even know where I've put my... Here we go. 5, 10. So that should be enough of the rocket control units. So next up we have the low density structures. How am I going to do this one? Maybe the same sort of way. What do satellites need? Low density structures, solar panel and accumulators and radar. Oh, and we need to get them rocket fuel as well. Well, I need to bring rocket fuel over here anyway for the trains, so maybe that's not so bad. But needing the 100 low density structures, that kind of suggests we might need to go to 110 low density structures rather than 100. Oh, I also forgot to put modules in all these things, which is very silly because that's going to take me a little bit longer unless I tell it. This thing here, let's, oh. Those guys get full of, where are they, production modules. And hopefully we can actually put production modules. Oh, I know we can't in those, but what about these ones? We can put them in those ones, right? Okay, good. So what we need to do is add production modules to all the ones that will take them. Yeah, I know that. Just put them in the ones you can. That's all my production modules, is it? Oh, this has started. That was not... Well, it sort of is. I mean, I need them to start building at some point, but I wasn't quite ready for it. Let's go to the map and check where that connection came from down the end. Always down the other end from where I am. Ah, there you go. A completely superfluous thing getting in the way. What we really need there is instead one of them. I guess I'll sort out the modules later. We're probably just about out for time. But yeah, I think the idea is we'll make 110 of the low density structures, because the extra 10, by the time you have multiplied it up by the production modules plus the beacons, should be a speed of 5.5 I think, and 140%. What is the speed of the production of those? 30 seconds. Let's just do some calculations on that. 30 divided by 5.5 means that is going to take about 5.5 seconds, 5.45 to be exact. I suppose the other way would be to go, well, you can get 2 in a minute times 5.5 times 1.4 should mean per machine 15.4, so we don't actually need 10. 8 would do. 10 gives us a little bit of wiggle room for our satellite. How many do we need in a satellite again? We need 100. So we actually need 200. So 10 actually isn't enough. 15 then. 15 should be enough. Let's do 15. Extra low density structures. Anyway, I will. The low density structures are simpler than these guys because we don't need to build anything special. It's just deliver us product. So it will be 115 machines exactly, and then we will build the satellites. They take 3 seconds. We need to be able to make 2 a minute. That shouldn't be a problem. One machine will handle that perfectly. And then a train to bring rocket fuel over here and to deliver these to wherever we put the silos. So I'll finish off this part of the build and hopefully see you next time. Thanks for joining me. Looking forward to seeing you in the next one. Bye for now.